I'm gonna step up a little closer because I don't know if y'all heard me. Todd asked Candy to sing. First, Kenya goes to Sheree's house. She's blowing the horn, all loud and stuff. He tells Sheree to open her gate, and she threw like a little shade. It was like, oh, it's not working. Out Sheree and Bob, and Sheree was just like, she felt like she'd been protecting him for so long, and she just gotta let him go and just go her way, and he go his. Sheree asked Kenya about her and Matt, and Kenya was like, she's done with him. Sheree was like, well, he was saying how he wanted to marry you and all of this stuff, and Kenya was like, his desire to marry her isn't gone. So she was saying how when he gets mad, he turns into the Hulk. She says she has to keep going because she doesn't know if she don't have the patience to deal with Matt. And Todd goes to pick up Peter because he's working on the restaurant. So he gets Peter to kind of get his feedback, and then he knows about him and Cynthia's divorce. So he wants to let him have fun and not think about the divorce too much. So Apollo all of a sudden called. To me, it was very disrespectful on Apollo's part, because one thing that I could say about Phaedra is that in the midst of everything that they have gone through or going through, she hasn't spoke loudly and proudly of their divorce or what they have gone through. Every time that they get on the phone with Apollo, every time you hear or see Apollo, he has so much to say about Phaedra. It was telling them about how the divorce is not final. Phaedra came there to visit him and was telling him how it was on hold because she didn't want to get a divorce. And Todd told him about the restaurant and how they having an grant, the opening and stuff like that. Apollo was like, I wish I could have been here to support you, but my girl is coming over to support for me. And Peter was like, are you dating a guard in there? Like, he was like, no. He started talking about how he had to upgrade. And so that whole situation was a mess to me. When I look at, even though the show to me seems scripted, which it is, and forced, but to me, when the guys are in scenes like Apollo and Peter and Todd and Matt and all of them, it seems scripted to me, and it seems fake, like it just doesn't seem real. It seems very forced, it seems planned and everything. So I don't know, but when you look at the girls, it kind of makes it like, okay, whatever, is normalized because we've been watching them for years. So when the guys hop on and start doing stuff, it just seemed fake to me. Like all of a sudden you start talking about Apollo and then he just called out of nowhere. It's weird, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but that whole car scene just made me feel like uncomfortable, and other scenes afterwards. So back to this whole divorce thing, Apollo said that when Phaedra came up there to visit him, which I said before that everything was on hold, but they end up sending him some papers, some divorce papers, saying that Phaedra wanted to go through with it because before she didn't really want to get a divorce, but now she's proceeding with it and going on with it. So he says that they're trying to rule in her favor. He says he's trying to fight it. What pissed me off with Peter is that he called Phaedra a con artist, like, because she's not going around spreading her business to everybody. She was talking to her friend about her marriage. They tried to make it seem like, oh, Phaedra was going around and saying that she was divorced, but Phaedra told Portia, and Portia told it to the other girls. How all of that came about, but Phaedra didn't go around saying she was divorced, and then she confirmed it with Cynthia. So to call her a con artist, like, I will agree Phaedra is full of shit, but I don't know. I don't know. I like Phaedra a lot, but I do feel like she is full of shit sometimes, and she does lie a lot, but I don't know. I don't feel like she would lie about this particularly. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like this would be her lying. So I don't know how to feel about all of this that's going on. Cynthia divorce is finally finaled. Blah, blah. Like, it's finaled, it's done, it's over with, she's single, Peter's single, so whatever. Candy's storyline, I'm not too interested in talking about either, because it's just like, what is there to really talk about? So the restaurant is not all the way done. They don't have everything that they need. And so Sheree and her kids are packing up to go and move into Chateau Sheree, and they're moving out of their condo that they've been in for, she said 4 years, but it seemed like it's been longer. She's moving out, her and the kids, and they packing up stuff and getting stuff ready. They putting tags on stuff that they're keeping and stuff that they're not keeping. And you know, she just said, it was talking to the kids, it was like, you know, she don't know what she's gonna do when she goes inside, because living in a big home and they moved into a condo, so it's, and now they're moving back into a big home, so she don't know what she's gonna do as soon as she moves in. So she's just telling them, like, Portia getting her wig, she's on the phone with her sister, she's getting wigs set up by the tub. She has on a whole onesie that says, I think, frack in the back, and she has another one, a matching onesie for Phaedra that says Frick, I think Frick, yeah. So she's just trying to get Phaedra to have fun because it's her birthday, so she's getting wigs ready for her so they can try on different wigs and different outfits to kind of change up Phaedra's look. You know, it's her birthday, she's getting a divorce, so it's what she claims she's divorced, so she needs a new look and new perspective on life, so she's just trying to help her out a little bit. Candy opens up the OLG restaurant for everybody. It looks nice so far from what we've seen. It looks way better than what it was before. It's a nice place. A lot of, you know, there's a lot of people in there, and I'm assuming that the air conditioning was working, because you know every event these girls have is always no air. Every time they have an event, it's no air inside. So I'm assuming that this event that Candy is having has actual air and they're not hot in there. Aunt Bertha is, as I expressed on Twitter, Aunt Bertha is my favorite aunt out of all of them, because she just like carefree, she don't care, she says how it is, she give it to you, no chaser. And I think all of the sisters are like that, but Aunt Bertha is just straightforward with it. Like, she just, you know what I'm saying? So I love Aunt Bertha so much. And Candy says how she did not invite Portia, but she invited Phaedra, but she don't think she's gonna come. Todd and Candy they have an event room where they have, like, I guess, songs. It looked like a room where you would do poetry or intimate stuff would be at. So she's on stage and she's talking, her and Todd is on stage and they're talking and kind of explaining the stuff they had to go through to get this restaurant up and going and all of that stuff. And Todd asks Candy to sing. Todd asks Candy to sing. I'm gonna step up a little closer because I don't know if y'all heard me. Todd asks Candy to sing. Now, granted, she don't have a bad voice because I've heard worse. Okay, I sing around the house. I've heard worse. But, and then another thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way is when she was in her confessional, was talking about her restaurant and her accomplishments, she felt the need to want to bring up Portia, and it was just like, just enjoy your moment. You know what I'm saying? This is your moment, this is your time. Enjoy it, have fun. You have beautiful people surrounding you with good energy and positivity. Why do you have to bring up about Portia? Like, let's get back to this singing. Now, I love Candy in Escape. Her vocals was on point. She sounded good. You know, she was younger. I think she's gotten older, had kids, drinking, whatever. Her vocals just ain't really there anymore. Now, she can sing. It ain't bad. But it's just very goat-ish. I'm not saying she can't sing, but I just don't want to hear it. It was just horrible. Everybody was tearing her up on Twitter, like with GIFs and memes and just all type of stuff. tweets and stuff, people was just on her, like, don't sing no more, Candy, like, it was terrible. But we come to the part that I've been waiting for and that I've been waiting to talk about. So, this girl walks in, and I don't even remember her name. It's not really worth remembering. Her name is such and such, and she was like, you know, are you Todd? And Todd was like, yeah, I'm Todd. And she was like, oh, hi, I'm Apollo's girlfriend, and stuff like that. And everybody's just like, oh my gosh, it's a mess. But I knew that was fake. Child, please, they been knew who that girl was. And that girl probably ain't even Apollo's girlfriend. She's probably just on there, like, he probably just have on there to shake some shit up. So Todd and Peter takes her into the room where the girls are, and she's sitting in there and she's talking to them about what's going on between her and Apollo. Now, I'm going to get back to when she came in, because this part was just like, what? So when Todd asked her, how did they meet? She took it upon herself to say, oh, you know, we found love, that's all. And it's like, okay, y'all found love, but where did y'all find it? Did y'all find it in a hopeless place? Like, where did y'all find it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did y'all meet? If you really love him and he loves you, why are you so hesitant and privately to want to share where y'all met at? Y'all coming on here and talking about Phaedra and talking about all these other people's business about him and Phaedra, you know what I'm saying? But you don't want to talk about how y'all met. So I don't know what's going on. I feel like Apollo is just trying to get, in the words of Tommy, get rich quick scheme if you ask. So Todd offers to take her on a tour around the restaurant. So that's when they go into the room with the girls and talk about what's going on. So as they close in the door, when they walked in, Mama Joyce is just over there like. So when Todd is introducing her to the girls, he's telling them how, you know, Apollo couldn't be here, so she's representing for Apollo and supporting us in the midst of Apollo. Kenya gets up and sits on another chair. Was like, oh, you know, let me get up. It's hot in here. I need, you know, I'm hard of hearing. I need to get all this tea. And it's just like, of course, your messy ass will want to be there to hear it so you could throw it back in her face later like you've done everything else. In the midst of that, she says, you know, Phaedra, you so full of shit. You want to talk about me and Apollo, but introducing a side chick. Now, for one, Phaedra already knows about the girl, because Phaedra been said previously that his girl, you know, he has a girlfriend. So she knows about the girl. It ain't like she doesn't know about her, because she do. You disrespected her marriage in front of her. Now what Apollo did behind the scenes, when they wasn't around each other, doesn't count. But you disrespected her and her marriage in front of her numerous times at the reunion, while they were taping the show, after the show, on social media. Like, you went in interviews disrespecting her marriage, so don't try to make it seem like her reacting to the things you did is wrong and she needs to shut up for it. No, you were wrong. So if they're getting a divorce or they have a divorce and they go in their separate way, what does that have to do with anything? And why should she be upset about this girl when she already know about her? I don't really get Kenya. I feel like she likes to kick people when they're down, and she's the type of person that would pretend that they're for you, and you open up to them and you talk to them, and then as soon as things go left, they want to put your business out there. They want to talk bad about you and just point out everything and throw it in your face. So Kenya is just like too much for me. So the girl is saying how Todd and Candy has been very supportive of Apollo since he's been away. She says that she's extending his presence there, and everybody is just looking around like, awkward. And it's like, you extending his presence there from jail, from prison? How? How does that work? And she says how he wanted to congratulate them both on their restaurant. So Candy says how Phaedra is going to think that her and this girl is in cahoots, but they're really not. She didn't know that she was coming over there. And I feel like Phaedra will. She will get mad instead of getting mad at Apollo or getting mad at Todd. But if whatever Todd does, y'all both married. So whatever Todd does, you does. Whatever you do, Todd do. Like, it's just the same thing. So she's going to get mad at y'all both, but I feel like she shouldn't really get mad at Kandi if Kandi really didn't know that that girl was coming over there. Girls say that her and Apollo have been friends for 4 years. So Kandi asked her, when did they become more than friends? Was it before or after he went to jail? And she was like, you know, wifey wasn't in the picture, so I was around more than she was. So Kandi says that, you know, Phaedra could have been there and been here. And the girl says, you know, oh, he's been there for 2 years now, and she's only been there twice. Portia asks Phaedra, what if Apollo brings another woman around the kids? Haven't really done things in the best interest for the kids, but she's basically saying she doesn't mind if he does, as long as the women that he do bring around all have moral standards and they respect themselves, including her kids and her, you know what I'm saying? So she really don't mind, and she wants to be a good mother. So with all of that, they'll have to be able to co-parent with that, you know what I'm saying, and kind of deal with it in some way. The girl is saying how she goes and visit Apollo often because it's nothing but like 40 minutes away from her. So Peter is trying to leave, and Todd is like, no, don't leave, you know, go over there, show Cynthia some love, and they having a little moment. So from the looks of it, you could tell Peter is just not really feeling it right now. He just wants to leave, and he's using this whole tired thing as an excuse to go, but you could tell Todd is just like over it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not Todd, but you could tell Peter is over it. So while they're talking, Apollo calls, and the girl is like, hi baby, and stuff, and so the call goes through, and when she said, hey baby, he's like, oh hey mama. So Kandi was like, you know, keep your girlfriends, because don't bring them around, because it's just going to cause more drama. So they're on the phone, and while the call is going through, everybody is getting up and listening and putting their ear to the phone and being nosy. Kandi was like, oh my gosh, this is just turning out to be so messy. Apollo congratulates Kandi and Todd on their achievement. So Kandi expresses to Apollo that basically it's making her uncomfortable, you know, because her and Todd's relationship with Apollo has affected her relationship with Phaedra, and she tells him how it was just very awkward for her to meet his girlfriend basically on those circumstances. So Apollo is like, he don't care about her and Phaedra's relationship. And Apollo tells her how, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with him and Shireen. He's like, oh, I'm telling you from my mouth that that's my baby. And he's like, you know, I'm a one woman's man, the paperwork is in. So Kandi asks him, are they divorced? And he says the divorce is going down as they speak. So Kandi was like, you know, she said that she was already divorced, and Cynthia is kind of co-signing in the background. Apollo says how Phaedra told him that everything, it was in process and stuff, but that it was on hold. Meanwhile, the papers was already in process, which is not really making sense to me. So Kenya messy ass gets on the phone, and Phaedra was saying that she was divorced. So when they're talking, this girl, when the phone hung up, she was like, you know, I gotta get my I love you and stuff. She was telling him I love you, blah blah blah, I'll see you Monday. So after the phone hung up, all of a sudden she's ready to go. And Kenya asked him, do you think they really was friends before he went to jail? So Kandi was like, it looked like they were more than friends before he went in. This is how I feel about this whole situation. And I've been waiting to get to this part because I really, like, this part really irritated me. With this whole thing with this girl and Apollo, what bothered me was that one thing I can say about Phaedra, yes, Phaedra may be full of shit, she may be a liar a lot of times, she may stir the pot, you know, she may stir up her lies a lot, but let me tell you something. One thing I can say, when it came to her children and her divorce, Phaedra kept it a secret. they always brought it up about her divorce and is it final and is it gone through yet. They always asking her about it. Phaedra never talks about it. So sometimes you be in a mindset where you just want things to be over, so you're just like, you know what, yes, it's over, I'm divorced, I'm single, I'm alone. Maybe that's how she was feeling, and then maybe it can be finalized and done. So we don't know the truth, you know what I'm saying? It's Apollo, it's Phaedra, and the truth, which we would never get. Which it probably is finalized right now, and they're probably divorced. But my thing is, y'all all are grown women, and why y'all so invested in another grown woman business and what she has going on? If she didn't want to announce about her divorce and say that, you know, yeah, I'm divorced, or it's going through and not divorced yet, so what? That's what she told y'all, you know what I'm saying? And maybe she just was ashamed to say, okay, I'm not divorced yet, because y'all was so on her about, oh, you know, if you're in prison or if you're in jail for a certain type of crime, you could get a divorce within this amount of months and that amount of days. So she probably just was like, you know what, I'm over with it. She probably just said she was divorced, you know what I'm saying? Phaedra has handled these situations in the midst of these girls the best way she knew how, you know what I'm saying, in the best way she could. And it bothered me to see that Apollo just digged and digged and digged and just kept putting stuff out there. And it was like, when y'all were together and when you wasn't in prison, you disrespected your wife on many occasions, you know what I'm saying? You disrespected her, cursed her out, talked to her any kind of way, did disrespectful stuff in front of her. Like, you didn't care about her like you pretend you do. Are you and this girl really together? Like, did you really just took her? Like, that could be one of Apollo's cousins for all we know, and they probably just put her on there so she could get paid, or just for attention. You know, y'all sit up here like, you know, I don't want nothing to do with this. This is too much drama. This is messiness. This is this and that and that and that. Y'all sat right there and listened to that girl talk and say everything. Spoke about her, about Phaedra's and Apollo's marriage and how many times she visited. As long as she didn't bring up the kids, that's fine. The part just really pissed me off. The whole episode was boring. It wasn't nothing. It was about Phaedra and Apollo, if you ask me. So yeah, the episode was very boring to me. It's kids involved, you know? These kids have to grow up and look at this television show and see and watch their parents' divorce just unfold, and Aiden is smart, Dylan is smart, so it's just like, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a lot of explaining to do when those kids get older, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff that they're going to have to deal with. That was my review. I hope you guys like it. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Follow all my social media down below in the description box, and comment down below what you think about this episode and how you felt, and do you feel like it was wrong for Apollo to speak on their marriage, or do you think it was right for him to clear his name? Was it wrong for this girl to come to the event and speak on Apollo and speak on all that other stuff? Do you think it was right or wrong? Comment down below, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.